Hey everybody, it's Marvel DC Man back again with another video, and today, my friends, is a very special occasion. Today is the 5th anniversary of me making content for YouTube. And man, what a roller coaster it's been so far. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. So to celebrate this monumental occasion, I figured it would be best to go back and react to the first ever Let's Play part I ever did. I know I do reactions over on the review channel, and speaking of the review channel, I have a video to coincide with my 5th anniversary over there, so you can find it either on the card up top or in the link down below. But yeah, I figured I'd just react to my first ever Let's Play part, kind of give you some insight, go into the memories of making it, and just how I was at the time in general, and yeah, stuff like that. I know this year especially I've been kind of all over the place with content for this channel in particular, since I've been mostly focusing my efforts on the review channel and also the Speaking Nerd podcast and all that kind of thing. And yeah, I apologize for that, but I knew that we had to do a video to celebrate this day, and yeah. But more information on what's going on with the Let's Play channel in the near future. I don't want to get into it right now, but before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been with me these past 5 years. To my fans, to the friends I've made. I wouldn't be doing this without you guys, and I feel an undescribable amount of gratitude towards you, because like I said, I probably wouldn't be making videos if you hadn't been there. So I thank you a lot, and here's to another 5 years. So let's not beat around the bush anymore, and let's do this. All right, so we're switching over to the webcam because this is pretty much the only way I know how to do reactions. So sorry about the quality going down, but yeah. So man, this is gonna be quite interesting. That's for sure. So anyway, gonna try and not really edit much. Just gonna give you my full, genuine reaction to what we're about to watch. So without further ado, let's begin.
Hey guys, Marvel DC starting off first Let's Play for my channel.
My God, my voice. It's so high pitched, and also really really nervous. It's crazy to me. So one thing I want to note for this is that at the time I didn't really, all I had was a headset. I didn't have a microphone, I didn't have a laptop, I didn't have anything. So I did everything in post. So I'd record the gameplay, and then maybe later on, I'd edit it down, put my voice in there, kind of change volumes and stuff, just trying all that. And sometimes I would just be like, there wouldn't be really much to edit. Like this part especially was more just, meeting the 15-minute quota, and then just putting my voice over it. But but some parts, especially the Riddler trophies, which that was probably the worst thing I've done for this. Um, and some of the post game stuff, I take the clips, put it all together, edit it down to, you know, trim out what needed to be trimmed, and then put my voice over it. Sometimes, like, I'd um, I'd put my voice in first, and then if something needed to be cut out or like that, I'd just trim it and call it call it that. But it was it's definitely like an interesting process, which I mean I'm kind of glad that I don't do anymore. But um, it's kind of it's fun for me to look back on, and did it for so many years, and it's nuts. Um, yeah, it is so weird um, watching this because like I'm just coming off play like I just reviewed Arkham Knight for the review channel, which if you're interested in watching, I can put it up on the card up top. Um, but it's just kind of surreal the time between the Arkham Knight video and also when everything started on this channel, being that it was the first game that I ever did, which wasn't the plan. But if you want to know more about that, um, then you can find in the link the story time for how I got started on this channel. So I go into more detail there.
Let's move on. Jump scare! Always fun in a Batman game, huh?
Man, my comedy was not good at all. And
Really fun time to troll.
another thing that I'm remembering, just looking back on this, is that I was so literal when it came to just not only describing what's happening on screen, but um, also just making jokes whenever I can, which is something I've kind of steered away from. And it's for the better, because if it's literally all jokes, then
The likeness seems to
that
be
get that would
building
probably get stale really quickly. But I don't know. It's but it's it's bad. So I actually have a funny story to tell about that. Um, I mentioned earlier that all I had was a headset, and that I did this in post. What I didn't realize until I started editing the first part was that because what happened was is that I recorded record the gameplay, but also when I recorded it, I was wearing my headset. So I didn't actually realize that I was picking up my voice at all. I figured um, I just figured that wouldn't work. Um, so by the time I was editing this part around, um, I came across it and just just kind of like I think I like I think this is like the second time I've recorded like did the voiceover, because I remember the first time I did it that I acknowledged it um like um like it was just like I just happened to bring it up while I was watching the cutscene unfold. And but after that I realized that I could do commentary without needing to do it in post, which is what I did for uh, Injustice Onward. So after I finished Arkham Knight, which every part was in post, um, um, there was not one part that was that was, you know, done live with my voice. Every part I did it in post, and it's probably because of that, you know, that's why this game, like, I took so long for that playthrough to finish out, and because I did like 70 some parts with that. Um, but yeah, it was a long process, and I mean, it started in June, ended in November, I want to say, like early to late November. And man, and some parts, you know, when I look back on the whole playthrough, there were some things I could have done better. Um, One part I remember in particular was I did it was the post game for the Penguin stuff, but I accidentally deleted all the footage I recorded for the Penguin side mission, or whatever left there was of it. So I ended up just doing the voiceover and describing what happened in the in the video, which is not the best decision, but I still went along with it anyway because I wanted to acknowledge basically everything, um, and rather rather than deleting it, which is probably what I should have done. I put it up anyway, and and you know that part was just it. So um, yeah, um, I think at some point I'm probably gonna redo this one. Maybe like, you know, have a better kind of time management, because I was really kind of blasé with the whole thing. Um, you know, and that's another reason why it took so long for all the parts to come out. Um, wow, like just watching this, I'm remembering everything that happened. Like a whole bunch of memories are just coming back to me. Um, like I remember recording it. Like it was like a hot day outside. Like it was so hot outside, and I could it was coming through my window, and I was just heating up in this room. Um, but yeah, another thing that I remember from, you know, the playthrough that was kind of, you know, I could have done better was the Riddler stuff, because I literally recorded every individual trophy and then clipped it all together, and like it was a nightmare because I hate doing the Riddler stuff in this game. It's so boring. And that's probably the case for, you know, people watching it. So, but at least they know where the trophies and stuff were. And I got a bunch of comments like the last couple of years. Like one of the Riddler videos got over to 1,000 views, like over 1,000. Yeah, and that's crazy to me. Wow, that joke was bad. um, but I'm getting back to, you know, actually recording the parts. Like I think I remember I recorded at least like four or five. I want to say like at least up to doing like up until the Ace Chemical stuff is what I remember for like recording it. Um, Everything else though, like was just kind of done in a day and was edited all throughout. Like um, and actually one of those parts was kind of I had to redo it again because like I forgot which part I was on. Like I think it was like part 2 or 3 or something, and I forgot the the number. Um, like I recorded the voiceover, and then like I edited it, and then like I edited, put the voiceover, and then I you know exported it to like the captures or something like that, because I guess that was the thing you could do, and I didn't realize until going back and making sure the videos were ready to upload where um, where I just had to redo it again. I think it was like part 3, and then the next part I was like, oh, welcome to part 3, even though it was like part 4 or something like that. So, yeah, it was a new process for me. I never really tried something like this. I wasn't I was never an editing type guy. I never edited anything in my life, and now I'm doing this. Like it's kind of transitioned into this, and even this is still kind of a new thing because like um I never really edited like like anything with a laptop like prior the the Arkham Asylum review, but um yes, it's nuts. This whole thing, like it's just looking back and seeing what I've accomplished so far with this. It's kind of insane, honestly. The how far I've come since this. Doing the other Let's Plays for all types of games, Marvel, DC, Walking Dead, Transform, and there's that. Wow, that was insane. But yeah, that was pretty much it for the reaction, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And uh, wow, it's crazy. It's honestly insane looking back on all this, and but now I got to start thinking about what to do for the 10th anniversary video. But yeah, it's I don't have any words, honestly. I really don't. Um, but once again, all this wouldn't be possible without you guys watching and supporting. So, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you all again for sticking around with me, tolerating my jokes, and just being the best fans ever. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share all that fun stuff. Be sure to follow me down below and everything, such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and also I have a Discord server, which we're always looking forward to new people joining. So if you're interested, come on by. And also in the description is a video that I did for the review channel celebrating the 5th anniversary. So if you want to hear how I got started on YouTube, click that link and see for yourselves. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you all so much for watching, and don't forget to take care of yourselves. See ya.